Everything just stopped for a second. This rolly chair is just rolling everywhere. I want to be still. Be still. Be still. Be still. Hello friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Naya. Lovely to have you here. If you're new, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you for coming back. I appreciate you. So today I thought I was just gonna play with some makeup and just get some things off my chest because basically my first, actually let me be doing makeup whilst I do this. So to prime, I'm going to use the NYX Studio Perfect Photo Loving Primer. This is a really good dupe to the Smashbox Studio Effects primer, which is like super expensive, and this is so much cheaper, so you know. We love to save money, okay? We love that. I wanted to make this video originally because Jackie Aina, sorry, ignore my nails, right? Like, just ignore them. Jackie Aina posted a video about being confident, how to become more confident. And when I didn't watch the whole video, I'm not gonna lie, because I was doing something else. But from what I watched, I really liked the video, and I went onto social media and I saw that she was getting dragged, like dragged by lighter skinned women, by mixed race women who felt as if her video kind of made them, I don't know how it made them feel, but they didn't like the video basically. So when I went and watched the majority of the video, but the general consensus of that video was, when I was younger, being mixed race, being light skinned, all these things were praised, and being black wasn't, you know, and it did affect her confidence. And that's what she said, and that's along the lines of what she said in the video. You can go watch it for yourself. But you know, some people didn't like that. Okay. So, okay, next I'm gonna just set my whole face using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Setting Powder in Nutmeg. So, like I said, people came for her. People were not happy with that. And for me personally, I felt like that video was very, very beneficial and very helpful, because I can attest to myself that seeing Jackie Aina on YouTube was one of the reasons why I became quite confident in my own self. You know, like seeing a black girl just embrace her blackness and just feel so beautiful and just, you know, play with makeup and just do things that I never thought I could do. Like, I remember there was a time where I thought I couldn't wear bronzer because, like, why would I wear bronzer when I'm already dark? Like, you know? Now, do you think I can do a whole face of makeup without putting on bronzer? Like, oh, looking like a bronzed goddess. But, you know, like, there's so many things that she really helped debunk. So I was like, do you know what? I want to make a video talking about how I kind of became confident as well, because for me, my journey was quite different to Jackie's, in the sense where I was very, very much bullied, and a lot of people don't quite realize that. When I tell people that I used to go to school, that people used to pick on me all the time, they're like, no they didn't, like, I don't remember that. But I'm like, no, my lived experience is different to your lived experience. I remember being picked on for being black. I remember being called ugly. I remember being called I had a big forehead. I remember being called sporty because I had loads of acne. Like, it was growing up was bad. There was one incident in particular that I really remember where but me and my friends, we actually used to do this dance class, which was outside our school. We used to all go there together, take the bus. Okay, normally as a skin tone concealer, I use C14 by Revolution or my Kat Von D concealer, but they have both finished and nothing has come in the post yet. So we're going to be using Revolution Conceal and Define in the shade C13. It is a bit too light, but we gotta make it work. So yeah, like I said, when we were like in year 9, like when I was like 15, we did this dance thing where we used to go to another school and learn how to dance. And when we used to go, my friends used to know these guys that used to live like around the area. They were a bit more road, a bit more not the friends, the guys. The guys are very, very road in the sense where they were quite, you know, like that, do you get me? For me, this is kind of like my first time encountering anyone of that caliber, I would say. I don't want to sound pretentious, but yeah, I don't, like, they weren't people that they were not my usual kind of people that I would hang out with, do you know what I mean? So anyway, we were there, we finished the dance class and we're about to go home, and we're waiting at the bus stop outside a shopping centre. And as we were waiting there, these guys that my friends knew, they came. So I was kind of sat by myself. I didn't really interact because I don't know them. So then I went over to one of my friends who was speaking to one of the guys, just to ask her a question. And then when I went over, one of the guys was like, ugh, why did you bring her? She's ugly. And starts laughing right in my face. And literally, like, do you know when you're so gobsmacked as to how horrible someone's being to your face that you don't even know what to say? I was just like, and all my friends were just like, like, what? Like, it was complete shock. I'm not gonna lie, yeah. I don't recall any of my friends actually sticking up for me. They were pretty much all laughing. But I forgive you. But apart from that one girl that stuck up for me. But you know, that moment in itself, it was bad, and it didn't just stop there with that comment. He went and started laughing, went and told all his friends, and all his friends started coming up to me being like, man, you're dead. Man, you're ugly. Bruv, why would you bring her? She's ugly. Bearing in mind, I'm 15 at this point, dark skinned. I already felt like I was ugly. Do you know what I mean? You didn't have to remind me and tell me to my face. So I remember like just walking away from that situation and like sitting in the corner with 2 other girls that I knew but they didn't know them, sitting in the corner of them and just waiting for my bus in peace. And as I was waiting, the guys came over again and started to harass me again, like, bruv, you're clapped, you're dead. Like, it was so bad. Like, I didn't want to cry in front of them, because one thing I will not do is let you see me sweat. Like, that is just one thing that I've always done. You will never see me sweat. Even if my insides, I'm boiling and I'm dying, you will not know. I will keep the bravest face ever, which I think is also very problematic. So anyway, my bus ended up coming. I ended up running on the bus, literally super quick. I sat at the back, and then a friend that I knew from school was randomly there, and she saw me and she came and sat next to me on the bus. And you know, I just burst out into tears. Like, oh, for foundation, I'm using Kevin Aquan Skin Illuminating Foundation in the shade Deep 16. Yeah, so you know, I just started crying on the bus, because obviously I knew they weren't getting on this bus because they lived in the opposite direction. But lo and behold, they jump on the bus as I'm there crying. So when I see them jump on, I obviously start wiping away my tears, like trying to put on a brave face. And they obviously realised that I was really upset by what they were saying, and they started apologising. But at this point, it's too late. Like, you said what you said, and you're only feeling bad now is because you believed that dark-skinned girls weren't human. Do you know what I mean? Like, and kind of, when I look back at it now, especially today, today all these tweets have been resurfaced, like everyone on social media, all these tweets have been resurfaced, and it kind of is a reflection of that story, if you know what I mean. Like, dark-skinned girls are always the brunt of every joke, because of a lot of the time people dehumanize dark-skinned girls. They don't believe that they didn't believe that we were worthy of respect or of tolerance or of anything, really. For someone to be that rude to my face, like, I don't think you guys understand. It was so unprovoked. Like, it was so unprovoked. For someone to be that rude to my face, the only way I can make it make sense is that you just didn't view me as a human, view me as a human that had emotions. And I feel like at the time, when you look at like the TL, especially with all these tweets resurfacing, like I said, it kind of highlights that mindset. Back in the day, a lot of people just didn't believe that black girls had any emotion, had any feelings, you know. And I think rather than the conversation being on like dragging and like cancel culture right now, which is where the TL is heading, I think it needs to be more on how do we learn from this? Because I'm not gonna lie, like, some of the tweets I made was from my friends too. Like, I had a friend that made some tweets, and I've even made problematic tweets on the TL. Like, I'm not even gonna resurface them, because until you find them, girl, okay, I'm gonna take those tweets to the grave, okay? To the grave. Unless you find them, they're going to the grave. Yeah, we've all had our fair share of problematic tweets, but I think what the issue here is how it impacted black women. You know, we don't really talk about how black girls, how did we recover from that? No one really spoke about how we recovered from this. We just sort of stopped doing it and had to get over it. And then when these things are sort of resurfaced, it's just like all those feelings tend to come back up again. Sorry. To highlight, I'm going to use my e.l.f. concealer in Deep Chestnut, like I always do. The way in which these tweets were even resurfaced as well, I kind of think was a bit problematic. Like, there was no sense of care for how a black girl would respond to this. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was no sort of like, how do I explain this? How do I make this make sense? There was no, the way the tweets were drug up, there was no sense of how would a black girl feel reading this right now? Do you know what I mean? Like, how could this affect someone's mental health? How can this affect a black girl's psyche? There was no care for black women when these tweets even were drug up again, which is also kind of validates my point even further. Like, a lot of the time people dehumanize black girls as if we don't have feelings or emotions. Like, I don't know. I think there was a very big lack of care when these tweets were drug up, and the conversation, rather than it needs to be about tearing down the work of people that have left those personas behind and sort of try to change their mindsets, the conversation needs to be more towards about how do we get to a space where we understand why these things took place. You know, like, why did you feel like as a black girl you could cuss other black girls? Why did you, what, like, why? It was a culture. It was a culture at that time. And like I said, right now, because it's quite fresh, I'm still struggling to find the words to really articulate how I feel on the matter. But one thing I will say is that black women, we need to understand that we have gone through the most, we have gone through the most trauma that has been the most neglected, if you know what I mean. Like, the trauma of the black women have gone through, it's not studied, it's not researched. We see the trauma of, like, Jewish people when they went through the whole Holocaust and all the atrocities that they went through as a marginalized community. We've seen the stories of other marginalized groups, but when it comes to black women, we don't quite see the same care or studying or analysis. We don't get that. So for us, I think rather than us trying to drag other black women for their previous tweets, we need to sort of come to places like, okay, let's try and understand what the mindset was. Let's try and understand why you felt like you had to make these tweets. You know what I mean? Like, but anyway, back to myself. When I was, after that whole situation on the bus, you know, afterwards I came home and I cried. Like, I cried so much. And I remember so many instances in school and high school where I was very much masculinized. You know what I mean? Like, the TL was a reflection of that, in my opinion. The TL was a reflection of our lived experiences. So, like I said, I feel very much different ways about it. I don't really want to... Sorry. I need to get my thoughts. I feel so many different ways. You don't understand. Like, I feel so like conflicted in my mind, because a part of me is like, people learn, people grow. Like, even my own problematic tweets, like, I don't feel that way. Like, so should I hold someone else accountable for things that they've said when they don't feel that way anymore? But it's not about what you said. It's about what you do now to alleviate that imbalance that you helped create. That's it. That's the nugget of wisdom right there. It's not about the tweets. It's about what you're doing now to actively alleviate the impact those tweets have had on a community of black women. So I was blending that for so long. I'm gonna just do my eyebrows and then we're gonna reconvene this conversation. Yeah, so like for me, it's like we haven't ever really discussed the trauma of what it was like growing up during this time. Like, rather than looking at the individual tweets and the individual person, I think the bigger discussion needs to be, okay, this is what black girls were victims of. How do we help change this conversation? How do we help fix a whole generation of black girls that had to grow up through this? How do we uplift you? How do I uplift you? What do I do to make this right? Do you know what I mean? Because I was part of the reason why you hated yourself. I was part of the reason why you doubted your own abilities. You know, sorry, I'm just thinking out loud right now. Like, I was part of the reason why you didn't believe you were enough. So surely it's up to me to do something to help alleviate this imbalance. That's just how I feel like the conversation should be right now. If you were part of the reason, one of the people that was drugged up dragged up. You know, I talk about this in my podcast all the time. Shameful plug, do the sass of shame. I talk about this in my podcast all the time. Like, growing up dark skinned and black in this England is not something us girls really and truly discuss, because the trauma. So it's like when we bring things like this up, like when these things come up and, you know, we get all the people saying, but this happened then, but we never addressed it. Even if it happened in 2012, we never addressed it. When me and Zainab made a podcast episode about this topic, and we got a lot of light skin, a lot of mixed race, a lot of people coming for us saying, you guys are segregating the black community by speaking on these issues, by talking about how growing up black it wasn't cool to be black, and now automatically it's cool. We were called out for saying these things, okay? But now, when the receipts are basically showing what we were talking about, I don't like to complain about these things, because I feel as if one day we're going to get to a space where, rather than dragging people, we're just going to have an open and honest conversation, and people are going to be listening, and people hold their hands up and take accountability. But we can't live our lives waiting for other people to do the right thing. So for myself, one thing that I've had to learn to do, I sort of had to become confident and sort of get over these things, was to realize that, I hate to get all preachy on you, but I have been made like beautifully. Do you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, no one is gonna hype me up more than myself. Like, for me, if you look at my phone, my wallpaper is a collection of all my selfies. Like, you think I'm capping? Yeah. My wallpaper is a collection of pictures of me. Sorry, it's cracked. Why? Because I am my own biggest fan. I am my own hype man. You know, I big myself up. You get me? No one else is gonna do that. Literally nobody else is gonna hype you up more than yourself. So for me, my confidence literally comes from me hyping myself up. Ooh, I'm feeling something sharp. Ooh, what is that? I'm just gonna give myself a simple eyeliner flick and then stick on some lashes because I'm tired. Actually, should we play with some colour? Just give myself a blue eyeliner. Why not? I had to sort of discover, like I said, I had to be my own hype man, because at the end of the day, no one else is going to pick you up more than yourself. And that's just that. No one else is going to believe in yourself more than you. If you don't believe in you, then how is anyone else going to believe in you? Period. Period! Period! Always use this liner and then regret it afterwards. Like, I always do this and then regret it afterwards. It doesn't look even to me, but whatever. I can't come and kill myself. I was like, how I became confident. Yeah. So, like I said, I became my biggest hype man. And one other thing that I had to do was also alleviating people from my life that had that sense of projection, you know? Because I noticed with a few of my people I used to be close with, because they used to project their own insecurities so much, I would see that impact me in the way that I would think. Do you know what I mean? And then once I stopped hanging around these people as much as I did, I was like, wow, like, I didn't even realize how them being so problematic aided in aided in me becoming problematic. Do you know what I mean? And then letting go of these people, I was like, whoa, so this is what it's like on the other side. Like life made sense. Like I didn't find myself caring about the opinions of other people, like, because I was always trying to be better than I was yesterday. Like, I'm in competition with myself. That's another golden nugget. Be in competition with yourself. Being in competition with myself means that I am always competing with how I was yesterday. Like, however I was yesterday, I need to be better than that. Like, if I did 3 things yesterday, I want to do 5 today. Do you know what I mean? Like, that was what I mean by being in competition with yourself. Like, you have nothing to prove anyone but you. So that in itself helped build my confidence. Like, I don't care. As long as I'm better than I was yesterday, I couldn't give a flying fuck what you think. Because what you think is a projection of your own feelings, but your own self. Nothing to do with me, honey.
Oh, now that's how you clear a bitch. I don't know who that hoe is.
So that's one thing that I had to really learn in order to become confident. Like, yeah, cutting people out meant that I didn't have to, all of their bullshit feelings was their bullshit feelings. It didn't become my bullshit feelings. And then I was just able to flourish a bit better. I was able just to focus on myself a lot more and just not care. Oh, for mascara, I'm using the Damn Girl Too Faced mascara just to prep my lashes before I stick on falsies. But yeah, like, what do you guys think? Like, have you guys ever really dealt with, you know, like insecurities like that? Like, I'm gonna line my lower lash line with the Elizabeth Arden eye pencil in Smoky Black. I don't know how I feel about my makeup today. I don't know whether I like it or not, but you know, we tried. We actually tried. What am I missing? Highlight, lips, lash. That's what I'm missing. Right, to highlight, we're gonna use. Oh, and bronzer. I nearly forgot. To bronze, we're gonna use Fenty Beauty Mocha Mami bronzer. And then using an angled brush. This is my Zoeva angled brush. I haven't got the number on it. I think it's 137 or something like that. I'm just gonna nail over the area between where I contoured and where I put my blush up. So using the angled brush, just gonna literally. Oh, speaking of Rihanna, I actually read Rihanna's Vogue interview yesterday, and I have never felt so inspired by a woman in all my life. Like, Rihanna, why did I say it like that? Rihanna really came and changed the game for beauty. And I think one thing that I will take from her is stay true to yourself. Do you know what I mean? Rihanna has stayed true to herself, and that's why she's so confident in herself. Like, she knows who she is. Do you know what I mean? And I think confidence comes from knowing who you are. And knowing who you are is easier said than done. Knowing who you are is easier said than done. Because how does anyone know who they are? Like, how? For myself, I know that I know who I am in Christ, you know. The Bible, I can like help me, but for other people it's different. Like, it might take meditation, it might have to take you trying to understand mindfulness, figuring out what you enjoy, you know, that kind of thing. For my lips, I'm gonna use the NYX pencil in Cocoa and Madeline from NYX. This is actually my staple combo. It just doesn't change. How did we get to a space where that was normalized? Why was that the normal conversation rather than dragging individuals for tweets that they made when they were like 15 years old, you know? Obviously, obviously age doesn't matter, you know what I mean? Like, problematic is problematic, period. I do think that it's a conversation that needs to be had, but rather than, you know, cussing people and cancelling people, we need to really address the environment that we created to allow this to run. I'm not saying we as in myself, as in the black community created to allow the conversation of, you know, to allow the disrespect of black women to run to run unchecked for so long. Because really and truly, it wasn't like anyone checked it. Everyone just stopped doing it. Do you know what I mean? There was never really, I can't really tell you what that turning point was, but there was a turning point where everyone just stopped disrespecting black women. Like, no, my lash is coming off. Okay, this lash doesn't want to stick on today. So this video has taken many twists and turns. I can't lie, doing makeup and talking is not something that I'm good at, and I will get better at it, I promise. But I hope that this video was a bit informative, and I hope that this video kind of changes the conversation on this topic. Rather than it being about dragging people, I just hope that we come to a space where we just learn from one another and learn from these mistakes. Certain people, though, deserve to be dragged. Those that were over the age of 20 when they were making these damn tweets. And lastly, to highlight, I'm using Jackie Aina's Artist Couture Glow Powder in the shade Le Bronze. I should really use Le Peach for this look. I'm going to use Le Peach. Jackie Aina's Le Peach highlighter. This is the Fenty setting spray, by the way. I just cracked the bottle, so I had to put it in this little travel size thing, which is the best setting spray, by the way. I love it, so good. But anyway, final thoughts with being confident and stuff, it generally comes from within you. Like, your confidence is like a glow, you know? Like, think of confidence as a glow. And the only way you can truly be confident in yourself is if you're at peace with yourself. You know, it's when you accept yourself in every shape, in every flaw and all. Like, you accept every last bit of you. You know what I mean? Like, I think that is the only way that I truly became confident. I accepted the fact that I have a big forehead. I accept the fact that I am dark skinned. I accept the fact that I have small boobs. Like, I accept all of these things, and now I don't care. Like, now that I've accepted that, there's not really much anyone can really do to shake my confidence, because, you know, you didn't make me. You know, you didn't. You have to tell yourself, I am the shit. Like, I am the bomb.com. I am Naya, and Naya is amazing. You know what I mean? Like, you have to, like, I like to point out every last thing on my face that I don't like. Like it's so important to compliment yourself, because no one else is gonna do it. And if you keep searching for compliments and validation from outside, then you will never become a confident person. You will never become confident, because you're always searching for external sources of confidence when it should be internal, you know? But yeah, that was kind of my take on being confident, growing up dark skinned. This video kind of went everywhere. I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't really have a structure when I sat down and said I wanted to start filming this, but I hope that this can open the dialogue and change the conversation. If you want to talk to me about anything that you've experienced being dark skinned as well, like, literally DM me, message me. Let's talk about it. Let's sort of unlearn. Let's start to unpack these traumas and start an open and honest conversation about how things like Twitter, how things like social media, how the lack of representation of black women, like, how did that impact you? Because no one speaks about that. No one ever speaks about that. It's all well and good being inclusive now, but how has the lack of inclusivity, how has that impacted black women? Like, how has it changed the way black women view themselves? You feel me? I hope I'm making sense and not rambling, but that was my take on this whole issue. Thank you guys so much for watching this entire video. I know it was long, but I appreciate it, and I hope it makes sense. Makes sense. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to talk some more about it, like I said, message me on Instagram, message me on Twitter. My handles will be somewhere here. And yeah, and I will see you in my next video.